This isn't over, Rob. Hi everyone, I'm Walter Benasiak, and this is Top 5. Not in the best mood now, so today we're counting down the worst of this Mighty Morphin sequel series. Right now, over on my personal channel, I have a review up for Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, which was the bridge between this and the first 3 seasons of the original show. Check that out for more thoughts on the lead up to Zeo. Power Rangers Zeo was the 4th season of the series and started the status quo of all new powers and costumes every year to match up with the newest Super Sentai season airing in Japan. While there was a shakeup in a few areas, Zeo was a logical continuation of the show and featured a lot of what we had come to expect from Power Rangers at that point. That meant some really strong episodes, some of the strongest in the Zordon era, and some really bad ones. While these episodes never quite reached the lowest point of Mighty Morphin's worst episodes, they still aren't easy to get through. These are the top 5 worst episodes of Power Rangers Zeo. Number 5. Bulk Fiction. Bulk Fiction isn't a terrible episode. It feels like it blends in with a lot of the less than average efforts this season, but with 4 clear frontrunners, I needed something for number 5, and this just barely fit the bill. Bulk becomes smitten with the police chief's daughter and tries a little too hard to impress her before attempting to ask her to a charity donation dance. Bulk's bumbling has an adverse effect on Lieutenant Stone's job. Simultaneously, the Rangers contend with King Mondo and Prince Sprocket's latest monster, Googleheimer. I love Bulk and Skull, okay, but this is a little creepy.
Glad to be on the team.
Hurry on, man.
Bulk tries very Bulk-like things to make the Chief's daughter, Connie, fall for him, but it eventually ends up costing Lieutenant Stone his position in the police department, which sets up their roles as detectives for the rest of the season.
Stone, wasn't that your man?
Yes, sir, I'm afraid it was.
As you know, I will not tolerate any fraternizing in the ranks, especially with my daughter. See that nothing like this ever happens again.
A true thespian, the Chief is. Towards the end of the episode at this dance, all the Rangers come dressed as their favorite decade. Billy is, of course, dressed in future garb because he's just too cool. Tommy and Rocky are dressed in disco suits, which creates an interesting moment. The ending freeze frame also looks like David Yost has just had enough. Plant yourself right there as we dive into number 4. Number 4. A Few Bad Seeds. Ever want to see Rocky turn into a plant and act like a complete fool for no reason? You're in luck. Somehow, Rocky accidentally creates a metal-eating plant that grows at an alarming rate. When Bulk and Skull steal a piece of it to grow their own plant, King Mondo turns both vegetations into monsters called Pollinator and Adrian. Pollinator later sprays Rocky with a substance that slowly turns him into a plant himself. The Rangers must find a way to destroy these latest threats and save Rocky before it's too late. How could you not love an episode that opens with this inviting face?
Isn't that great?
This episode is just really, really weird. We learn that Lieutenant Stone loves the smell of shit.
That's really quite fascinating, sir. Manure! I hate manure!
The monsters here are spoofs of Stallone and Schwarzenegger.
Why'd you bring us back here, huh?
Because your cousin here is inept.
Okay, so your point is...
One of them is named Adrian. I think it was just so we can get this.
Adrian!
The strangest thing about this episode is how Rocky is slowly being transformed into a plant. Weird enough, but why do they have him acting like this?
Hey, nice leaves.
Nice leaves?
Yeah, you've got nice leaves. Your branches aren't bad either.
They beat the Pollinator by shooting him with pure oxygen from their Zeo blasters. Okay? Makes about as much sense as anything else, I guess.
I could have been a contender!
This was a peculiar episode, but I'm not crying about it. Number 3, for crying out loud. If there's one thing that's always fun to see on Power Rangers, it's dangerous crying babies. When Tommy and Kat are partnered up for a school assignment, they have to pretend to be married. To make the assignment more realistic, Kat brings in a family friend's baby for the couple to care for. King Mondo decides to create a monster to amplify the baby's crying. Now, whenever little Joey cries, it feels like an earthquake. The Machine Empire then kidnaps the kid, and it's up to the Rangers to get him back before he destroys all of Angel Grove. While the last episode was just plain weird, this one is both annoying and boring.
I just remembered that there's something I gotta do.
You know what? I forgot. I have to cook tonight. Gotta go home.
On top of the constant amplified baby cries, we find out that Lieutenant Stone doesn't know how to squeeze ketchup out of a bottle. I thought Bulk and Skull were supposed to be the dumb ones.
Slow down!
There's a bit of foreshadowing here on Tommy and Kat's relationship that develops later in the season. That's about the only noteworthy thing this episode has to offer. Boo-Hoo the Clown is also a wonderful antagonist for the Rangers.
As long as we can keep the baby from crying, we'll be fine.
Yeah. You can't keep a baby from crying very long. That's true.
Crying? That's one thing I love about babies. Wake the little guy so he can give us a good wail.
Tommy, you better get over here.
Tommy and Kat's teacher asks them to babysit his twins at the end, and I don't think I've ever seen a human talk like this.
I trust you discovered taking care of a family isn't as easy as it looks? Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. My wife and I need a babysitter for Saturday night. Yes, for the twins?
Number 2, The Puppet Blaster. Scariest episode of the whole series, right here.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Captain Pete, and this is my sidekick, Puppet Man!
While a children's show called Captain Pete is performing for kids at the youth center, King Mondo sends down Cogs to corrupt Pete's robotic friend Puppet Man and is successful in turning him into a monster now working for the Machine Empire. Puppet Man casts a spell on the kids in the audience as they begin causing havoc. The Rangers must try to break the spell and stop Puppet Man before he takes over the minds of children all over the world. Kids in Power Rangers have always been hit or miss. Alright, like 99% miss. This is no exception.
You'll have to get through my army!
Lieutenant Stone's nephew might be the worst.
Let me go and tell him Uncle you were mean to me.
There's a point here where Puppet Man tells the kids to attack the Rangers. They don't get the chance, but what were they going to do? This was almost taken as a real threat.
What will you do when the children attack you?
Careful, guys. Come on, guys.
What are you doing?
The only saving grace of this episode is this kid's eyes. At least someone was having fun with this. And the number 1 worst Power Rangers Zeo episode is A Season to Remember. I don't know what it is about this show and Christmas episodes, but they're always terrible. This was the last Zeo episode that aired on TV, but was supposed to be set earlier in the season. The order is fixed in the DVD release. Tommy is an old man and telling his grandchild a story about the Power Rangers. King Mondo sends down Prince Sprocket to put a spell on the teens and their friend Raymond that makes them intolerant of different cultures from their own in how they celebrate the December holidays. We'll get this out of the way first. Everything with the elderly versions of Tommy and Kat is so stupid in so many ways.
What do you think, young fella? Are you ready for Christmas? Hold on, youngster, hold on.
That's enough stories for tonight, Tom. It's getting late.
Aww.
Well, you heard your grandmother.
It was bad enough that they forced Tommy and Kat together and exploited Tommy's pink Power Ranger fetish, but flashing forward in time and seeing that they end up together and their grandkid is also a Power Ranger was just too much, even for a Power Rangers Christmas episode. We see Zordon and Alpha exchange gifts as well. If this is sounding more and more like another infamous direct-to-video Christmas special, you'd be right. This was supposed to be a home video exclusive, but that project was canceled, so it ended up airing on TV.
There is only one way to stop the spread of this evil. Each ranger must find within his heart the kindness and understanding that is the key to every human soul.
Next thing you're going to tell me is the spell is broken by a little girl singing.
When I get mad, my mommy sings me a song. You want to hear it?
No.
Many friends, many hearts, different faces, different starts.
I should have known better. There you go, the worst of Zeo. Next, we cover the best, and I'm excited to count down some of my favorite episodes. It'll be a golden good time. I want to hear what you guys think. What is your least favorite episode of Power Rangers Zeo? What do you want me to cover next on the show? Leave a comment and let me know. For more content like my Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers review, subscribe to my personal channel, youtube.com/AwesomeWalter, like my new Facebook page, facebook.com/AwesomeWalterB, and follow along on Twitter to take part in more polls about what may be covered in the future. And now, Rob, you're mine. It's morphin' time!